Hi, have you ever gone to the autopilot and then started to wonder why something doesn't work anymore or doesn't feel so good anymore? Yep, it's about changes happening in our body and in our mind. And in today's episode, we will cover this topic thoroughly. Welcome to today's episode. So yes, the things that worked once probably will not work always, and the things that felt good once might not feel good forever because our bodies change, meaning our needs change, and also because our minds change, which means the desires change. Changes will not stop happening. So I'm talking about changes happening in our mind, in our body. Let's go through those first. What kind of changes might be there? After which I will give you some tools how to get to know yourself, how to work with the changes you might notice or you might not notice. So let's start with the changes. So first of all, I mentioned the changes, what happens in our bodies, which also means that the needs of our bodies will change. These kind of changes includes, first of all, we are getting older. Every day we are getting older. There happens changes in our hormone levels, in our metabolism. We also grow and eventually we will shrink. Then the change can be just that you are starting something new. You're starting a new hobby or new work, which takes energy. Maybe it demands more physical activity. So this means also your body will change. Then there are changes that hopefully will not last forever, like getting sick or getting into the accident where you need to adapt to your new body, support it, heal and recover. One big change for the body is going through pregnancy. Also after pregnancy are happening a lot of changes again. Then also if you happen to move new country, to new environment, new time zone, we will talk about environment in a bit, but these are also changes which can be seen as a changes in the needs of your body. But how about mind? Obviously the bodily changes will affect your mind too, but I want to mention few. So for example, we are growing up. Our way of thinking will change. We will meet new people in our lives, communicate with them, learn from them. We become more aware what is happening around us, which can change how we think about things, or we start to wonder, should I do something like this? Or I could actually like doing something like that. Maybe we try something new, for example, some activity or some new food. Sometimes we might get bored to things when we repeat things for a long time, and sometimes life just brings unexpected experiences. So our minds are exposed to the events of life, which will cause that our minds are changing. The things we desire can change. I shortly mentioned the environment and how it can affect to the changes in our body and also in our mind, because we are surrounded by other people. So our environment affects to our body and our mind the needs and the desires. And if you think about the environment where we are living, there are different kind of trends. They are changing. Sometimes it influences, for example, to the food which is available for us. And this is also the case when you are moving to a new country. The food is usually different. And then there are a lot of new technologies coming in, trying to make our life easier, which may cause that we maybe move less or we can even move more. It depends what kind of technologies we are using. The working habits can also change depending how it's preferred in our environment, in our culture, different living styles. For example, in some countries nowadays it can be more common to have a lot of roommates, and that is also a change in our social situation. So those are also changes. And then we can't ignore the changes what are happening in our nature, in the weather, which will also influence with the food availability, how our body can handle the heat, or maybe there are more rainy days. So a lot of changes are happening in our environment, which will influence to our body, its needs, our minds, and the desires. Some of these changes are faster, some takes longer when we might have more time to adapt. Some changes will last longer Some are here just for a short visit, and some changes will develop over time. I mean, you have a change in your body and you know that because of this, I will go to certain direction with this change. Some of the changes we can affect, so we have a choice. For example, if we have certain desire, we are like, okay, I want this change, so I will make it happen. And some of the changes are the ones we can't completely stop happening. So we are influenced by these changes. If your starting point is that this all feels super messy, I don't know from where to start, I don't know what kind of changes has happened in my body or mind, but you can recognize that something is off. You can start to use numeric values for each day. You will give a number for several weeks. So you can have 2 categories, energy level and then your satisfaction. You can also split the energy level to the energy you feel in your body and also to energy how you feel in your mind. So you give this number, for example, from 1 to 10. 1 is maybe the lowest and 10 the highest. And every day for a few weeks, you will give a number for either these 2 categories, so the satisfaction and energy levels, or the 3 categories, so if you split the energy levels. So we'll give number for each of these every day for a few weeks to see what is off actually. And then when you look back, can you see some pattern that some days has been better and what happened on those days? How about those days when you felt worse? What happened on those days? If you can't recognize anything there, you can go even further. And this technique, which I'm soon gonna tell you, you can use also when you're planning to do some changes. So you can keep a diary where you write every day some things you might think that will influence your mood. What did you eat? When did you go to sleep? How were your social interactions? Were there some more stressful events? So you decide which kind of things you want to track. And if you are gonna do some change, for example, if you are gonna take new supplement to your diet or leave some supplement out, also pay attention to your mood. You can also keep this diary like more relaxed way, so you can write a story. And when you read back, for example, if you do that for 3 to 4 weeks, you will have quite good image what has happened in your life and in your mood. If you do these intentional changes, you can ask questions like, does this give me energy or not? Sometimes some changes will take the energy more than they give. If you have a pain in your body and you're doing a change as an intention to take the pain away, you can ask, does this increase the pain or decrease it? You can also ask questions like, does this make me feel more excited or less excited? And how this feels in your body, what kind of thoughts you have. And I would recommend to pay attention, does this happen every time? Because especially when we do those changes, it takes time to get the whole image how that change affects to you. So with this diary, I would recommend 3 to 4 weeks to get the image how the changes affects to you, or what is your mood and where you should maybe pay attention more to support your health and well-being. And if you make certain changes, I would recommend not to do multiple changes at once if possible. So then it's easier to recognize which of those changes affect to what, and also give time for the changes. If certain change will cause you health related problems or increase the pain, that's different case. Then you should probably talk with your doctor or other healthcare provider. But in other situations, I would always give a little bit time to actually see if the change is something you would like to have. So yes, don't forget to get to know yourself over and over again, but only once in a while. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. See you on next time. Bye!